Well, welcome back. You can see the Mississippi Aquarium coming out of the ground now. Take a look at that. Pretty impressive. Walls going up from the air, giving us a peek at what is to come. Here with the very latest on the aquarium taking shape, Mississippi Aquarium President and CEO David Kimmel. Dave, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it.
Thanks, Doug. Great
All right,
to be
first
here.
question right off the bat. I mean, obviously, we just saw the video. It's coming out. What is the progress status right now? Are you on schedule, and is it on budget from what you can tell right now?
Yes and yes.
Quick answer. Good job.
Schedule-wise and progress-wise, we're exactly where we need to be. What the public wasn't seeing is all the work that happens underground. We have a lot of piping underground that really supports all of our exhibits. Now, as you can see, we're starting to come up from the ground up. And what people are seeing is actually that is our big tank. It's our large habitat area that when you saw the renderings of the tunnel going through the center of it, that's the exhibit that you're seeing there. So what's exciting for me is to start to see then where our tunnel is going to go, where our big window is going to go. When we're walking the site, seeing where the river is, seeing our otter exhibit, our dolphin exhibit coming to life as far as, starting to excavate out for all of that. The place is really starting to take shape.
Well, funny that you mentioned dolphins. You have a dolphin tie-on. You have a water wave thing on your lapel, but there was some controversy about the dolphins, but I haven't heard that here in the last couple of months. Where does that dolphin exhibit stand? Where do the protest stands, or do you think it's pretty much an issue that's been resolved?
You know, I can't speak to folks that don't agree with us having dolphins in our exhibit, but I can tell you this. The dolphin exhibit is coming along extremely well. We have plans to bring in the dolphins. And again, what people have to understand is that the Mississippi Aquarium is going to be seeking 4 different accreditations from different groups that are out there. AZA, Association of Zoos and Aquariums, the Alliance of Marine Mammal Parks and Aquariums, American Humane, and IMATA, which is a trainer's certification. The folks that we have are professionals. Full-time veterinary staff is going to be on site with a veterinarian there. So the care and the welfare of our animals is always going to be our top-notch concern.
How are you going to ensure continued attendance once it opens? I mean, obviously, you're going to have to depend on tourism and visitors from out of state, but you're going to have to depend on locals too. How are you going to get locals? What's the plan to bring them back 2, 3, 4 times a year to that aquarium to take a look?
Great point, and that is always a concern that we have. So one of the things that we did in the planning stages is created a building, and we have to still get a good name for it, but it's really a working name as a changing gallery building. In this building, year after year, we're going to bring in different exhibits. That's the difference that we're going to have. It's a reason to come back year after year. First year, penguin plunge, and which is our 4 South African penguins that are going to come in. And there are great traveling exhibits out there, and it gives us a chance to show off other things along with our permanent collection.
All right, what's the buzz in the aquarium world that you're receiving right now? Because, I mean, obviously you're in contact with people who run aquariums across this country. Is there a buzz that's now building about Gulfport, Mississippi, and is that buzz good?
It is, and I can prove it in this way. If you look at the staff that I've been able to bring on board, I brought in veterans from that, by the way, they applied here. We put out job ads, and every one of these folks applied. And so we wound up having veterans from the Vancouver Aquarium up in British Columbia. We brought in veterans from the Newport Aquarium just outside of Cincinnati in Kentucky, from Marineland Dolphin Adventure, and we have others that we're going to be bringing on. People want to come here. This is a great aquarium, and by the way, this is a great community, and that's the other appeal that people have.
What, as far as hiring goes, how is that process coming along? What's the total employment once you open between maintenance and trainers and veterinarians and the bean counters and all those folks like that? I mean, what's the total employment going to be?
Right, we're still targeting at 60 to 70 full-time employees. We're going to be looking at about 40 or 50 part-time seasonal type employees as well. The majority of the staff will start to really come on after the first of the year. We have a few more hirings that we're going to do between now and the end of the year. And I got to say, every one of our hirings is going to be posted on our website. So anyone interested is to constantly look at our website, go into the careers page, and every job will be posted there. And they just have to wait for the right job that fits their background and qualifications.
What about support from the city? What about support from the state? I mean, obviously, the city's got a lot of skin in the game by buying the land and putting up a bond. The state's got a lot of skin in the game. I mean, are they still happy with what they're seeing the progress?
Absolutely. In fact, we just Tuesday did a presentation to the Gulfport City Council showing them our progress and using that drone footage to show them the progress on there. All feedback is positive. They're extremely happy, and they have been extremely supportive of us. And so that's been very humbling to us.
All right, let's get back to the schedule. The timeline was late 2019, early 2020. Have you pinned that down a little bit more? I mean, do you have a pretty more specific time when it's going to be opening?
Yes.
And? Let's break some news here, right here on this show, right here Sunday morning. When
I'm
do you
not
think?
ready to commit to an exact date.
Not an exact date. Give me an exact 3-week period.
I'm working to an exact point. When I'm more comfortable to go public with it, I promise you, you're going to be the first one I'm going to call up and tell.
That's just not fair. Now, did we charge you for that drone footage? All right.
Not yet. I'm sure I'll pay.
What about the actual safety of this structure? And that's always been a concern.
Absolutely.
I mean, obviously, Katrina came along and changed the game for everyone. Nobody ever expected to see what happened after Katrina. Can this aquarium, built up the way it is, withstand that kind of a storm?
Yes, what we're doing is the buildings and all the structures are being designed for 160-mile-an-hour winds. We've also raised that site up. If everybody remembers, we had our big pile of dirt for quite a long period of time to get us above what Katrina flood levels were. The difference also is that for all of our outdoor exhibits, we're going to have to evacuate animals should, God forbid, another Katrina-type storm come along. So part of our policy and procedures is to have those emergency evacuation areas in place, and we're actually finalizing those now to bring those animals.
That's a great point, because I was going to ask that, because obviously that did not happen
That's right.
at a couple of locations when Katrina roared ashore. We all remember what happened at Marine Life and the dolphins washed out to sea, incredibly found alive. How are you going to get those animals out of there? We're talking about a multi-million-dollar investment in animals. How do you make sure that they get out safely? How do you make sure they're transported safely? How do you make sure they're taken care of safely while they're out and then get back?
Okay. First of all, the facilities were designed to actually get the dolphins in and out. And there's actually a loading facility right at the dolphin exhibit so that we can transport our animals out. There are transport containers that we use that safely transport animals. And we do have secure locations to take them once a storm should happen. So we'll go through our evaluation process, we'll go through our evacuation process, we'll watch the storms, we'll be watching your channel to watch the weather reports, and we'll base everything on that.
At what point do you make that evacuation order? Do you have like a certain protocol, like a category 1 you don't, a category 3 you do?
It's going to be somewhere in that category 3 type thing, and so we're also then, we're going to watch all the factors on there, the winds, where it's coming from, the direction, and everything else in there. You don't like to move animals, but you do what's necessary.
All right, last chance. Give me a date. Go ahead.
I'm not going to give you a date, but I will give you a different. I will give you a different date.
All right.
Is that
quickly.
One of the things also is community support, and as you know, as part of our fundraising or funding is to have philanthropy and private donations given. Our first major event, Splash Bash, September 21st, put on by Hancock Bank, with all the proceeds going to the Mississippi Aquarium at Jones Park.
All right, Splash Bash. David Kimmel, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Good luck with the continued progress at the
Thanks,
aquarium.
Doug. Pleasure to be here.
And